Guys, welcome back to Quick Notes with Chris on. Today we're going to be talking about the book Unstoppable Teams by Alden Mills. He's actually ex-Navy SEAL, so he has a lot of military experience when he talks about developing teams and the aspects and basically specific traits that make an unstoppable team. He has an acronym that he utilizes that is very simple, it's very straightforward. So no matter what team you're in, position you are, whether you're in a business, running a sports team, coaching, teaching, no matter what, you can definitely apply this. And his one is CARE. And CARE breaks down to connect, achieve, respect, and empower. So the first one is connect. It's essentially just to build trust. See, all relationships that you need to basically utilize within your team have to have a solid foundation. They need to build on trust, not only between you and its people, but between everyone within the organization. Then and only then, with a level of honesty, can people understand each other through their empathy, through their goals, and look towards having a united front whenever it comes to achieving things. With honesty comes openness, and with openness comes understanding the solution rather than focusing on blame and problems and literally anything else other than becoming productive. When you're understanding that connecting with your people is becoming imperative and understanding that that is so important whenever you're looking towards developing a team, then you can understand what it is that you're looking towards accomplishing from there. And there's a reason why it is first. Having empathy, having understanding with the people and being able to connect with your teammates, especially from a leadership position, allows them to basically come forward to you with the problem. If people feel comfortable with you enough that you're not going to necessarily scold them for doing something wrong, and they feel confident that you're there to literally solve the problem, then that way they'll be focused more on looking towards achieving the solution, much rather than trying to throw blame around. There's so many examples of this in multiple other leadership groups that utilize this law of connection in order to ensure that people don't necessarily care what you have to say until they first know that you care. And that is so imperative and important, especially when you're looking towards developing a team that's going to be unstoppable. So the first steps first, make sure that you connect, make sure that you care, understanding that people want to be able to come to you with anything, whether it's their relationships, whether it's their business life, whether it's their home life. If they're basically not right in their head at home, how do you expect them to perform when the job is needed to be done? And it's important as you are a leader in order to be able to recognize this, have set aside times that you're ready to communicate with your team in order to progress, moving more forward to achieving the solution that you're looking towards getting. The next one is achieve. A stands for achieve. This is literally understanding the goal that you're looking towards achieving. Every goal, no matter what, has to have its level of successes. It has to succeed. That's why a team is basically put together. They're there in order to achieve a task. So if a team is not actively looking towards achieving its goals, it's eventually going to fall apart. They need to have its level of, successes before it starts moving to fall apart. In order for a team to start actively moving forward, it needs to develop a level of momentum. And the first step towards doing this is by understanding and having a unified goal. See, if the leader doesn't have a vision that people can't get behind, how do you expect the team to look towards accomplishing whatever it needs to be set out to be done? You need to have a team where all agendas at least coincide in trying to achieve the one single goal. They can't have split focus. If all these people are looking towards achieving different things, they might be wanting to achieve the same goal for different reasons, but they all need to be united in order towards looking towards getting a certain outcome. If you don't, then you have split focus and you don't necessarily know who it is that you can rely on in certain situations, whether you're running a business, whether you're running a company, or whether you're running a team in the military. Everybody needs to be under the same understanding of what it is and common goal they're looking towards accomplishing. Ensuring that nothing gets short-sighted and no one is basically wasting their time where they shouldn't be, to ensure that everyone's goal is towards the same thing. For example, if you have a certain person who's not necessarily wanting to be a part of the team anymore, their mind isn't in it, all that's going to do is poison the group. You have two choices. Number one, connect with this individual. Make sure that you understand what it is that they're looking to accomplish. Motivate them back towards the common goal and get them to buy in again. The other one is if essentially you're not a good enough leader anymore, or there's other circumstantial problems surrounding this individual, is to essentially move him towards distancing him from the group. He needs to look towards, if it's a business, quitting. If it's a team, if it's a sports team, moving to a different one. An individual who's not devoted is a person that's bringing you down. If you've ever heard the quote, you're only as strong as your weakest link, this is 100% true, because you can only go fast as your slowest follower. And if this person isn't in line, if this person isn't lined up with your agendas, he's naturally going to be an anchor in your boat rather than a wind in your sail. So you want to make sure that your team is united, not only as a front, but on the inside as well. Understanding through connection, you'll be able to, this is the reason why it's second, it's because through connection, you can identify and understand every person's agenda, what it is that they're looking to accomplish, what they're looking to get out of this team, what it is they're looking to get out of this business, this opportunity. And from there, you can utilize that to motivate yourself, motivate them, get in line with your vision, and progress towards accomplishing the goal that you've set out to do. The next one is respect. This one is obvious, very similar to connect. Now, this one is obviously on the leader. You cannot get respect if you do not give it first. You cannot consistently disrespect the individuals within your organization and expect them to show respect in return. Respect comes in so many different ways. The first one is you have to give it to others first. This other one is previous achievements, but genuinely it's how you make people feel. There's two different types of leadership. There's doormat leadership and there's servant leadership. You want to be the servant, right? There's a difference between the two. A doormat leader is someone who gets stepped on. A server is a person who understands that they're there to basically get the best out of the people around them. If you consistently are looking towards maximizing your team's potential, respect is going to naturally come, and you'll be able to achieve your goal far easier if the rest of your team understands, respects you, your achievements, what it is that you have to say, what it is that you're trying to do, and that you're a person that they can get behind their vision. See, whenever you're with a team and whenever you're with a group, it's all about the character and the leader that they're following first and the vision second. If you have a team, if you have a leader as a person in charge, right? But it's a people that they can't get behind their character. It doesn't matter how self-righteous the reason is, self-righteous their vision is. No matter how much they naturally want to agree with the vision, they will not get behind it because they don't believe and respect in the leader. So it is so important that that leader is an individual whose character is set and is ingrained, has a level of integrity and respect for others, so he himself can be, or she herself can be respected in order to achieve the goal and the vision that they're looking out to accomplish. Finally, the next one is empower. Every great leader was once an intelligent follower, and it's a great leader's job to inspire the leaders within the organization. If you look at any other sort of leadership examples and stuff like that, every problem that a major organization runs into is when it comes to you've developed a business or a workplace or a company which can only operate when a single person is present. This is not what you want to do. You want to look towards empowering the other people around you. You do this by essentially giving them the reasons and knowledge that essentially lets you build up to the person that you are today, while also letting them have freedom of choice, but not too much. You want to pull the lead while also let it up at certain times to ensure that they're able to make their own decisions, make their own evaluations, to know that they're consistently developing as a leader. Now, the benefits that this has to an organization is, if you've ever come across a person whose face is of the organization, that means that whenever they have regional branches, whenever they have out-of-state teams, how can you expect them to perform if all of it is on the person who's creating it? Well, that's a common occurrence. It's very easy to build a successful business. If you want to make 6 figures to $1 million, it's possible to do it by yourself, but it's incredible to grow an entire organization out of your control. I'm talking the tens of millions if you don't put trust in other leaders, and you have to do this from the get-go. Your goal should be looking towards leading leaders to lead themselves. Then you will be able to essentially, hopefully, lead other teams while these teams are developing, and so on and so on and so on, and you'll have a sort of compounding effect. But all of this has to be done through trust. One thing that the book does talk about is that trust is so imperative, because how is it that you can put the trust in the individuals of information that you might hold dear that might be used against you if you don't personally have a solid level of trust first? So it's foundation. It's difficult to raise people up if you don't have a solid foundation beneath. So making sure that you have that foundation before you look towards implementing the care system to ensure that what it is that you're preaching, what it is that you're talking about, what it is that you're developing is in place of a foundation of honesty, trust, loyalty, and respect. You can only assemble a team of people who have to get under the same vision. No matter how many superstars that you have, or one individual team, if all of them are not getting in line with the vision that they're looking and setting out to accomplish, no matter what, all that you will be doing is succeeding to failure. That is all that will happen. It doesn't matter if you have Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, you name it, all on the same team. If all of them aren't unified under the same goal of winning a championship and they're all out for their own individual accolades, that team will fall apart. There's so many examples of this on sport, and you can utilize this because it's literally put on the stage where you can represent and see how leaders react in certain situations and ways not to act. Anyways, guys, that's it for Quick Notes with Chris on. I highly suggest you do read this book itself more in depth. It is a short read, it's very quick, so it's very easy for you to implement. I highly suggest if this is a first book and your first time looking towards developing your own personal leadership skills, this is a simplistic book that you can definitely look towards applying in your life as a starter. There are a lot of more advanced books out there, but in terms of simplistic ones, I'd highly suggest you start with this one if you don't know where to go. But other than that, guys, I highly suggest you like, comment, subscribe. If there's anything that you liked in the video, share with someone if you think that they might be able to help you. But other than that, guys, don't stop there. Keep looking towards striving to put yourself in a better position and improvement for success. I will be uploading a few more videos a little bit further into the night, so I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya!